What's going on, guys? BladeZilla here. And today we're taking a look at a Shirogorov F3 in their new Alutex, which is, I guess they're calling this Aquamarine Alutex, with an Elmax blade and a host of other super sweet upgrades and updates that we're going to talk about today. So sit back, relax, grab a cup of coffee, cold beer, pop, whatever you got, depending on the time of day, obviously. And this is what we're going to be talking about today. So the Aquamarine F3. As a reminder, guys, check out the website bladezilla.ca, where a lot of the knives featured on this YouTube channel are available for sale. And I just put these guys up on the site, and lo and behold, I didn't add any inventory. So that's great. I'm going to have to fix that. But I got the emeralds and the aquas, budget coating stuff, and lots of cool stuff. So mini areas is actually still have one left of the Shirogorov 111 S90V, which is pretty sweet. Those are really uncommon. Did a video on that just earlier in the week. So I'm actually going to pause this and update the inventory real quick because they are on the front page. So one sec. Okay, you know what? Just goes to show when you rush too many things at once. You know, you take photos, you set the camera up, you load it on, do the description, and you just don't add any to the stock. So that's terrific. Anyway, that's my problem. Let's take a look at this guy. So, as we can see, Alutex, which is just gorgeous. Lots of light, lots of reflection taking place on this guy, and just an absolute stunning design. Beautiful knife. The F3 is super common. Actually, a lot of lefties really prefer the F3, just because it's a little easier to kind of operate. And I guess it's not really ambidextrous, but it is a little bit more so. On the flip side here, clip, as always. Just gorgeous. I love the milling on these. Just so usable. And the Alutex obviously goes all the way down the entire length of the handle in that nice aquamarine color. You do see up top here, we've got lots of milling taking place, some vertical lines. Oh my goodness, there's just lots of little details here. And I am curious, because usually there's a line that kind of runs horizontally on the bottom of these, and it's kind of hard to tell. So let's take a look together here. But usually right here there's a design that sweeps across. And I've got, do I have an F3 in the case right now? There we go. Here we go. So here's a G10 F3 from my own collection. But see what I'm saying here? The design comes across the case, kind of sweeps left to right. Pretty cool. This knife, G10 backspacer, kind of G10 all the way around. And this guy is Elmax as well, but super cool. You can kind of see the configuration, right? So the lines and then the pattern. Whereas this guy, you kind of feel the lines, you don't really see them. And then that pattern is in fact there, and I don't know if the camera will pick that up or not. But there is that patterning, which is cool. Same with up top, sweeping up here as well. I don't know if you'll see it at a different angle or not, but it is there. That is pretty sweet. I guess let's talk about a couple of improvements on this versus the other models. So instead of like a G10 color, we actually have a titanium color on here, which I think looks real sharp. I would have preferred if it was a little more polished, but you know what? That's cool. We do have a collar of some kind, which is awesome. And then the backspacer, I believe, is titanium as well. And you know, the beauty of that is it has one, first of all. I think these were a little bit more table price wise, maybe 25 bucks Canadian, so what, 10, 15 US, something like that. But going from G10 to titanium just kind of completes the whole package for me and makes it just look a little more complete. You know, there's no milling, it's kind of raw dogged, which is fine. But it is tie, which is sweet. It's got the stonewash and the kind of the side bevels on it. Total usable backspacer, or sorry, total usable lanyard hole as well, and from the side you don't see any holes, nothing like that, so that's a nice little touch. I can certainly appreciate that. Tolerance wise, we are right in there, nice and tight. That's what she said. And dead center, which is kind of what you'd expect on Shirogorov given the price point. Elmax blade as well. We'll flip that around, show that. And yeah, we do have the Shiro Bear on one side, which I should probably show, and then the Elmax on the other, which, you know, Elmax is a super sexy steel. It is a super steel, and it is a thing of beauty, so no issues there. I've always loved Elmax. To me, it's it's just a solid material, and from my understanding, it's very similar to Chromax. Just vendor-wise, I think Chromax might be Japanese steel, I think. Don't quote me on that, but Elmax, really good stuff. You know what? I've got no problems with it. Same with the Vanex, just love that stuff. It does run on multi-row bearings, as you can see, ridiculously smooth. And these guys, I can't remember where they write that on this one. It might be actually inside here or under the top. Where are we writing MRBS on this guy? Ah, it is up top, but it's actually close to the backspacer. And I don't know if that's always been what they've been doing on these, but there we go. Right in front of the backspacer there, MRBS, multi-row bearing system. And it's actually a good time to kind of show some of the internal skeletonization on this too as well. Yeah, those multi-row bearings are just so smooth. More balls than standard ball bearing kind of bearing system. Just kind of in a pinwheel orientation to add blade stability side to side. Just gorgeous. But on the inside of this as well, you know, lots of materials taken out. It's a light knife. Lighter than probably the G10, I imagine. We'll weigh both because I'm kind of curious. I'm not doing this with a spec sheet. I don't have either beside me, so just kind of cool to see all that milling. Beautifully done. Now let's get some measurements because I got a little too excited out of the gate, and for some reason the thing that I do first is something that I'm missing. So let's get the measurements on this, but it should be in that 95mm blade. Should be. Yeah, just under 4 inches, so kind of 3 7/8, somewhere around there. Handle is, what are we coming in at here? 4 3/4, something like that. And overall length we're coming in at 8 3/4 or less, depending on your eyesight. And mine is not the best, so as you know, don't trust the numbers I say. Let's take a look at the weight on this guy. It does feel a little bit lighter than that G10, but who knows? Who knows? I'm curious to take a quick peek inside the other one as well to see if there's some additional milling that's foregone. 4.8 ounces, which is about right. 4.9. 4.9, cool. Okay, and let's grab that other G10 one. Just curious. It does feel a little more thick. 5.1, so I was right. And you know, that could just be the materials, right? The G10 backspacer. Let's take a look inside here on the milling. This is not skeletonized. That is interesting. So there you go. That's a big difference maker right there, actually. This is more raw dog on the inside, which is cool. So that, you know, this is actually a pretty, pretty elevated F3 then, given that it is, you know, almost half an ounce lighter, and then it's all milled on the inside. So that's a pretty high-end price point for this, and I think, like I said, I'm only charging $25 more for this, and obviously it comes in based on landed costs, duties, etc. But yeah, that's a smoking deal. Yeah, to have that price point with kind of Alutex with MRBS and the internal skeletonization and Elmax, obviously, that's a sweet deal. And the backspacer, that's a nice package. It's very attractive. Let's take a look at the inside here. So we've obviously got, I don't know if you can really look down in there, the light's kind of hidden, but we've obviously got some material in here. I believe we've got a lock bar insert in there. Don't know what that's made of. But yes, they do have it. It's just kind of sandwiched in on the side next to the detent ball. I'm kind of curious how they would go about replacing that. I've never actually taken the scales off to see kind of what's underneath there, but taken lots of other knives apart, but an F3 just never done one. I'll have to see if Fabri's done a video on one, because I'd love to see that. Pretty cool. Blade stock as well. When I did look at this originally, I thought to myself, you know, is the blade stock on this a little thinner? And to my surprise, it's not. I think we're still at, geez, it looks either 3 or 3.5 mil, but let's grab that other F3. Kind of compare side by side. I believe these are identical. Yes, they are. So, maybe, you know, no weight reduction there, but Just something to think about. That is funny how sometimes you play with so many different knives and open, close, shut. And sometimes, a year goes by, 2 years go by, and you go, hey, this feels a little lighter than the last F3 I looked at. And, sometimes you're completely right, and sometimes you're not even close. But that's okay. In hand, the F3, just a super comfortable. It's a little thicker than kind of an F95 or a Quantum, just because of how they kind of put it all together. It just feels a little thicker in hand. But size-wise, length-wise, very similar, very comfortable. I've got a size extra large glove, and I've got room for another finger there. So that tells you lots of room, super comfortable. Jimping is not aggressive whatsoever, but it is flat on the top all the way down to the tip. So if you want to kind of perch up on it, you certainly can. No issues whatsoever. Let's kind of see how it fits in the Shirogorov lineup. Let's grab that neon that I always use. Man, I gotta organize my stuff so that I can actually be like, here's the 3 knives I always show. So here's a neon by comparison to the F3, and let's take a look at it like this as well. That would probably be more representative. We put the chonky guy up top. My Stellar is still in the wife's car for some reason, so we're going to use the Kami. So there you go. And I'm not going to open a new Stellar just to show the size, but there you go. So that's kind of your 3 sizes for Shiro, and obviously the 111 is on top of that, which once again, I'm not opening another 111 to show, but yeah, there's kind of your 3 sizes. Really nice. For me, as you guys have probably known by now, I do Neon Light is my EDC, and a Quantum. I actually have a couple Quantums I carry, but they tend to be a little kind of more modest ones because I use them. I would like to actually carry a Gen 5 F95 as well. That'd be a fun knife to kind of play around with because they're just so nice. But remember, your carry has more to do with kind of your hand size, and if you're wearing jeans or shorts or whatnot. So yeah, for me, I just really seem to dig the Quantums and Neon Lights. And actually, my Quantum is right here. There you go. There you go. Monkey Edge Frag Quantum, and is my E-Knives one here too? I think it is. Yeah. There's new E-Knives. Two pretty underappreciated, I think, models. Just because, they're skeletonized handles, and that's the beauty of it. And, yeah, they're textured and whatnot, but, plain Jane tie, internal skeletonization, that's my jam. So, much like this F3 Aquamarine, you are getting that internal skeletonization at a price point that I often wonder if it's priced correctly, because that's a lot more work for the maker to do. So, oh well. Yeah, someone's going to get a good deal then if that is the case, but super nice. Also, I love on this guy, and I always talk about this when I bring out the Hattie, and maybe I'll show the Hattie again here, but on the Hattie, so basically a carbon front F95. See how the lock bar is elevated when I rotate the knife? Kind of show that. Right? See how it's elevated? Your finger finds it a lot easier. It's one of the reasons I really, really love Shirogorov knives. It's just the ergonomics. Obviously, they're well made. They use exceptional grade materials, but I love the ergonomics, and that's one of the things I really, really dig. And I love on the F3, love on the F3, how they continue that pattern and they roll that up. So your lock bar, as you can see, is in fact raised compared to the show side. So your finger just finds it really easily. It's not quite as big as a bevel comparatively, but nonetheless very comfortable. Very, very comfortable. So I love that stuff. Oh boy, what a cool knife. I wish I had a spec sheet to see if there's anything else I'm missing, but just based on looking at the knife, I'm going, it's got to be Thai hardware. It's obviously got the Thai collars, which is such a win in my book. And then that backspacer, although it does look a little raw, I'd be curious to see what this knife would look like if they did the match design-wise and kind of took the jimping pattern and duplicated it, it would certainly change it up a little bit. But you know what? That's another cost that maybe that's where they're saving a little dough. They're like, yeah, you know what? We'll internally mill the entire thing out. Not a big deal. And then, you know what? You get what you get on the backspacer. So, pretty cool. You know, if they took this knife and did a run of, you know, this is super close to those like F3s, right? The Element series, quality-wise, super close. You know, Elmax. Actually, I think one of them even had Elmax. Which one was that? Was it the Ignis? I think it had Elmax on it. Am I crazy? Terrace was S90V. The blue one was Vanix, and I think one was M390 and one was Elmax. I think. Anyway, yeah, this could easily, like, this is the quality of a high-end piece. So I'm a little surprised at the material choice. Really, like, over, how should I say this? They went over and above when they probably didn't have to. So, love it. And this particularly one is just tuned so nice. I may actually have to keep this one. Throw it in the case. Because it is super smooth, quite nice, and just unique. It's a unique F3. So maybe this will become my my showpiece in the case. Because it's just so cool. Really well done. Alright guys, well I'm going to get the F3 Emerald and get that one filmed. So this is the Aquamarine. If you guys want to see the Emerald, I have it right here as well. Maybe that is the one I should have done a comparison with. But so this one's a little more blue, and the Emerald is a little more green. So the light's not going to make it look too crazy, but you know, here's your Emerald comparison, which I don't know if I'll have the blue one in that video, but we'll see. We'll see. I do tend to film all these things stacked back to back to back. But there's a nice little comparison between the two. Light blue versus kind of a little bit of green. Also identical. Let's take a look on the inside of this. Also milled out internally. Beautiful. Same knife. Same knife configuration wise, just different color. So, like I said, I wish those collars were a little polished, but I can't win them all. Same backspacer. Gorgeous knives. So there you go. I'm going to put this guy away and start filming the next video. So I appreciate you stopping by, taking a look at these, and I'll get some more of these available as they come up. But appreciate you stopping by. Follow me on Instagram, follow me on YouTube, hit the like button, etc. So TikTok, Instagram, and once again, guys, I just made a Facebook page. I don't know if that's really catching on. There's only, I don't know, 12, 15, 20 people following it right now. But follow me on the Facebook page. I may have to put a promo code on there that's only for Facebook people. Just for a week or something to get some people to follow that page. So, yeah. Thanks for stopping by, guys. Have yourself a fantastic week. And if you have any questions, leave them below. Peace, guys.